Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
It doesn't really look like me.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Yeah. Now, what's going on? Now we're low on the modulation over there. It's just, these radio frequencies are weirdly enough. Oh, yeah. Good morning, folks. I'd like to just say that, see, nothing works right. Nothing fucking works right around here. Anyway, I am not even supposed to say fuck this early in the program or YouTube gets upset with me. They get fucking pissed. Anyway, good morning, folks. It is Thursday, right? It is Thursday. Fuck. You know why I just said fuck? Because I forgot to take the trash out. It's Thursday, trash day. As I say Thursday, I'm thinking trash, and I forgot to take it out. I just can't do it now. I'm all fucked up. It's Thursday, September 14th, 2023. I hope you're having a great day. Willie wasn't aware that we start with the beans, the coffee beans, that is, as a sort of a symbolic tribute to the bean flicker queen of his president, not queen, of his fan club or whatever it is. That's why we do. That's why we have the beans. Nobody knows about the beans. It's not that hard to figure out beans. Beans and flicking go together like obviously did not get enough sleep. Obviously, I didn't get enough sleep. Today we have a whore. My guest today, just tuning in, my scheduled guest, Glenn Tickle. I'll get a little tickle. Can't make it. He's got an emergency. Maybe an emergency whore visit. I don't know. But so we have a guest who has a one-woman show starting next week on the 19th in Chicago. Her first name. It's a pen name, obviously, because she's also an author. She's got a one-woman show, but the name she goes by, her first name is Sephe, but I'm thinking it's Safe, even though it looks like Sephi, Safe, because the last name is Haven, Safe Haven. That's what I'm thinking it is. She'll be with us at 10:15 today, and she's written several books. My horizontal life. She's an ex-contemporary courtesan, which is a fancy way for saying prostitute, hooker, friend of Willie Cronkite, Willie Conway. I really do apologize for being an idiot today, but it's not really that different, is it? It's pretty much the same. It's just a little bit sillier, loopier, dopier. Tomorrow, this is odd. And by the way, Carl should be in Tucson tonight. He was in Venice Beach last night getting drunk. Somehow he's getting from Venice Beach, California last night to Tucson today, where Billy Wayne Davis will be headlining, Christine Levine, and Andy Anderson are also on the bill. Doug Stanhope is hosting, and I have a feeling that somebody we know is going to get some stage time there. That's all I'm saying. I just have a feeling. Did I burst somebody's bubble? Did I say things? Did I jinx shit? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But tomorrow, this is so friggin' weird. Tomorrow is the first day. Tomorrow is the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month. I know. It's the 15th. It's the first day of Hispanic. It's like Hispanic heritage obviously includes not having a calendar. The first day of Hispanic Heritage Month starts on the 15th. What? It should start on the 1st. I don't want to say anything derogatory, but I already did. So fuck it. Hispanic people really need to start getting their shit together, and maybe they're just late. Maybe they just got up late, 15 days late. But they really need to what we need to do is have a special fundraiser for calendars for Hispanic people. Put a big red circle around one. Who starts a month on the 15th besides like child support or something, or Social Security? Something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll just shut up and start over. Yesterday, I got a phone call. I wish I would have recorded. I really wish I would have recorded this thing. It was from a company that wants to help me with my congressional campaign. They love the fact that I'm running as an independent, and they want to help me with that. And maybe we can set up a Zoom call to find out if we're a good fit to work together. I said, wait a minute. I love the idea of you wanting to help, be a helpful person, but I have to tell you, my campaign is a no money campaign. It means I'm not taking any donations. I'm not seeking any donations. I'm not accepting any donations. Well, we could get you donors. I said, you just not hear what I said. I don't want any money. And he goes, well, I really appreciate that's that's a great platform to have. Is it because I went into the fact that I'm trying to highlight all the dirty money that's in politics, and that's the whole reason I'm running. So I said, hear what I'm saying? I'm not taking any money. He said, well, how are you going to win if you're not going to, what's your plan to win? Who said I plan on winning? I don't plan on winning. I plan on starting a conversation about dirty money. Now, could I win because it's such a dysfunctional district? It's possible. But seriously, anybody who spends 3 seconds watching this show in the morning and seeing me call Hispanic Heritage Month fucked up and saying Hispanic people need to get a calendar that starts with one, I just lost. That's fine. I don't really want to be a It wouldn't suck to be a congressperson to get, whatever it is, $164,000 a year just for showing up and cursing these people out. But odds are, nobody's going to vote for me. I'll be lucky if I get 10 votes. And they'll probably all be dead. I'll take up some dead names and stuff the ballot box. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, it was a fascinating conversation going back and forth with this guy praising me for running a no-money campaign, but really wanting to help. And like, where are you getting these donors from? And here's what the thing is. Because he's part of the fucking problem. He started a business. Maybe he didn't start it because he didn't seem all that hip on terms. Like he couldn't say independent. You're running you're not part of any party. Like, yeah, I'm running as an independent, dude. But whoever started it and whoever is doing this telemarketing campaign, put together this telemarketing campaign to get idiots like me to sign up and say the way they make money is they go out and get donors and they take a cut. And then who owns my fucking congressional seat if I do win? It's him and his dopey company and the people that he got money from. There's no way you take money from somebody and they don't own you. You owe them something. human nature. It doesn't have to be an explicit contract. Listen, if you get in, we want you to vote. Blah, blah, blah. It's once you get in. Oh, remember us? And then we're stopping by your office today. We're the people who paid for your fucking seat. No, I don't want any of it. I wish I would have recorded it. I didn't know. How am I supposed to know? But I think I'm going to have to set up a recording system to record phone calls now. So beware if you're calling me. I will be recording. I just want to be able to hit the record quickly when these conversations start, so I could have it. Would be a good time killer on the program. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Hispanic Heritage Month, which starts tomorrow. Willie's here now. Let's just say hello to Willie. Let's bring him in. I know he was just bending over this, like it looked like he was going to suck his own dick. But see, that's the look you get when you get caught trying to suck your own dick.
Listen. I've long said this for a long time because see, this is actually something I don't understand because
how about
I've heard a lot of people say if I could suck my own dick, I'd never leave the house.
Right.
And how is that not gay? I'm sorry, but that's gay. You know, I don't care if it's your dick, my dick, any dick in my mouth is gay.
I know. I agree. I agree. Well, maybe with a little ketchup, mustard. I don't know.
I like ass play, but only with the ladies.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this Hispanic Heritage Month? Am I off base here for thinking this?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with like the quinceañeras and stuff. That's like when they turn 15. You know what I mean? So maybe 15 is like a significant number in some way, perhaps.
But it doesn't start a month ever, unless I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe in Spain, or maybe in Hispanic countries. What is a Hispanic country other than Spain? Maybe maybe the month starts on the 15th.
Right.
It's just fucking weird.
Well, and now I'm curious to know: does this go to October 15th then, or October 14th, or does it end?
It can't be a 2-week month.
I mean, what? Yeah, it does raise questions if you don't know what's happening.
Right.
And if you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know. Have you ever visited a courtesan?
A what?
A courtesan.
What is a courtesan? No. What is that?
I guess I looked it up because I didn't know. It is a fancy way of saying hooker.
Oh, no, I'm not going to pay for what I can get for free, bro. I'm too cheap for that.
I don't know. I don't know. This looks like some like maybe we couldn't get this for free.
And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man. I would be more likely to be the one requesting to be paid. I'd be like, no, you got to pay me for what just happened. I'm really sorry.
Extra lot of confidence in that cock of yours, huh?
Yeah. Where do you think I got this ego, Matt?
From your cocky cock. Yeah, cocky cock.
built this around see, that's why everything keeps centering back around my genitalia, because that is the cornerstone upon which this personality has been built.
All right, we're gonna do football picks today. That's like a fun thing to do. I just want to. Something is wrong with my sound effects. I just want to test them out. Let's see what we got.
Oh,
here. Okay. Let's see here.
Coffee with a Dog is live streaming now.
Right, that one was okay. I don't. Yeah, she did that on purpose. I don't know. She did that on all the fucking little bumpers and stuff that she had. Like, I don't know why. What made her think that this should be an alien sounding program? But she did that on all the bumpers, that like the space voice and the stuff. I don't get it. But it wasn't working. It was supposed to be working this morning. And the starting, Wake Up America, forgot the bomb in the beginning. I don't know what happened to the bomb. It starts with a bomb. Anyway, you never realized that the beans were for your friend, President Bean Flicker.
I did not know that they were for President Bean, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I'm just too... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Clandestine in my approach to comedy You know what?
We need a fucking dictionary for today's episode.
it helps. It helps if people get the jokes, and if you make it too highbrow, they won't get the jokes, and then you'll be the only one laughing. This is
right. Yeah. If it's too heady, yeah. No, that's for sure. Yep.
All right. You got news happening? Because
I do have some news.
Let's get to the news early so we can do picks. Because
Sounds good.
People are here for the picks. They want to make money. I know people are going to the bank today to empty out their account, relying on us.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't trust my picks until after week 5. That's when I start using a legitimate mathematical formula.
Go by me because I've never lost a penny in gambling in my life.
This is no bullshit. I was actually they would not let me in the football pool in prison after a while because like when I say that, like, I have an equation that I use after week 5. It's so like I do, like I really break down points for, points against. I like have an adjustment for which team is home, all of that shit.
And I hear they wouldn't let you in the kiddie pool after week 6. It's time for the news. Your mic is muted.
A 25-city North American tour, the I Missed You tour, produced by Live Nation, will kick off October 12th at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia. The tour will wrap in Denver on December 12th, with special guests promised all along the way. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely apologize for every joke I have ever said about Adam Sandler and let you know of my extreme availability during this time period.
And don't look at yesterday's program.
Yeah, right. From Yahoo Sports, with the postseason just weeks away, 2 teams fighting for their spot will collide this weekend. In the American League East, the Baltimore Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays will be contending to win not a playoff berth. They're both going to the playoffs, but the number 1 seed. So that would be a bye to the division series and home field advantage until the World Series. The Rays will travel to Baltimore for 4 games in the series with the Rays this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, the Rays are traveling to Baltimore to play.
I got your bird seed right here.
God, I'm really. I didn't sleep well either. I'm sorry.
You were up with a courtesan.
Perhaps. Yesterday, SAG actors and writers took to the streets.
Wait, did you say SAG or sound? All right.
SAG, SAG.
All right.
SAG. Screen Actors Guild. Yeah, you know those people. Anyway, so they had a solidarity march in Los Angeles. They marched from the Netflix studios to the Paramount studios, where a rally was held. SAG president Fran Drescher addressed the crowd and announced that the SAG board of directors unanimously voted to continue the strike. The labor dispute between the SAG members and the Alliance of Motion Picture and TV Producers began July 14th. My daddy is coming home on July 14th. My birthday is July 14th. I'm going to see my daddy for the first time ever on July 14th.
You know, I just want to say that Actor Heritage Month starts on July 14th.
Oh, that's the news. That's all the stories I had. I figured I'd go short with the news because we had picks.
All right. Yeah, we have picks, but we have a long time. We have till 10:15. Now, Robert Taylor will be in with thank you for your service. I asked him to come on at 9:15. I don't know if he's going to 9:45. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, but so we have some time. But yeah, so the sad thing, or the writer's strike. Now, there's a lot of shows that are starting up without writers. Bill Maher, who was never funny anyway, even with writers, is now going to start real time again without writers. And here's the thing: I don't know if people realize this. Bill Maher twice now, I believe, I believe it's twice. I know one for a fact has used a Doug Stanhope bit as his opening monologue without giving credit for it. I mean, I don't know if his writer stole it without his knowledge, and I don't remember the bit, the one that is definitely word for verbatim a Doug Stanhope bit. But I think it will be interesting to see how he's going to be without writers, because he's not funny on his own without writers. And last week I think it was on Rogan, he was saying that writers actually feel like they're entitled, like we can't do shows without them. Writers expect a living or whatever, like they're entitled to earn a living from writing, and writing is not important. So he said that. Now he's going back. It's going to be really ugly. I think he's going to get crucified. Now I'm here for all of it. I'm going to love it, because you know what? You stuck your foot in your mouth. You stuck your foot in your ass. Now you're sticking it in your mouth. So.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, especially the shows that are starting up without it, and like you say, I have doubts that it's going to be very strong content that he's going to be putting out. Because the whole reason that they have a team of writers on these shows is because it's extremely hard for one person to come up with that much material in a short amount of time span.
That's why you're here. I mean? That's why you're here.
Right.
Yes.
Like, believe me, I get it. But my question is, so isn't he a writer though? Isn't he part of the guild? How does he not qualify?
I don't think he ever really is a writer. Listen, if you've seen Bill Maher, and I not like I followed him, but I remember him. I have distinct memories. I sat next to him once for 5.5 hours on a overnight from LAX to New York City, and it was the worst 5.5 hours of his life. I fucking tortured the hell out of him, and it was like 1997. But he was never funny, and he was never he never had like original material. He had done stand up, but it was like, you know what? All you're doing really is fucking talking about the news. It wasn't like original stuff. He was just riffing like I do every morning, just like searching for shit to talk about. Like his stand-up was weak as can be. And I remember distinctly seeing him with Johnny Carson talking about how old comics were not funny. He's talking about Jack Benny and Danny Thomas and a few, he was going down the comics of that era and saying they just weren't funny. What he was saying was they were saying stuff that people had written for them. It made them not funny. Like if somebody else is writing your material. Right. So he had disdain for writers even then. This has got to be close to 40 years ago now. It's like 35 years ago or something. So fuck Bill Maher. I never liked Bill Maher. And he knows.
The Drew Barrymore show is another show that is starting up again, even though the strike. And so I don't know, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I would imagine that there's writers working on that show then. You know what I mean? Like I
don't know what the hell. Never saw a second of Drew Barrymore's show, but it's like a talk show, right?
Yep.
Is she not going to do a monologue and she's just going to come out and interview people? She doesn't really need writers. She's just going to ask questions and stuff like that.
I mean, she might just do her own, though. I mean, I could see Drew doing that. I mean, she's got a sharp enough head that she could probably do her own, because I don't think she necessarily is focused on them being funny or whatever. So, I mean, she could just go out there and
she's about to find out it's a lot harder than you think it is. I mean, people think, well, I could just go to the commercial spot here. No, if you don't know, and this is pretty apparent with me every morning, if you don't know what to say, you ramble, you say shit, and you start talking, and you're like, how do I get out of this to where we can actually go to the fucking spot? Ian brought it up, like, you said goodbye 4 times already.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm super bad at saying, you know what I mean? I say, you know what I mean? Like, as a space filler. I was rewatching something we did like last week or something, and I bet you I said at least 6 times in the span of a minute, the phrase, you know what I mean? And I was sick of myself. I was like, this right here is why you're not on television, you dumb shit. Like
you need to get a little zapper on this end, and from here to there, and so every time you say, you know what I mean, I get press the button, and you
yeah, no, I do need that because bro, I need to get snapped out of that for sure. Because I know that it is 100% something I have heard every television producer talk about is that if you have those repetitive things or those those space fillers all the time, like they don't want to put you on TV. That's not what they want to put on their networks ever.
Oh, for me, it just comes down to being ugly. They don't want to put me on TV. I get it. You're too ugly. You're gonna break people's television sets.
I mean, listen, if that's what kept you out, I have no chance. I'm so screwed.
Yeah.
Like,
and my mustache is crooked.
Oh no,
that's
why my mustache is gone.
Let's get to the picks. The picks. I should have fucking done a piece for intro in the picks, but you know what? It's your fucking fault. Listen, I've been working harder this week than you can imagine, and the fucking requests are still coming in. I'm like booked up almost through November now. Two guests a day. All the people who are seeing this fucking ad that you shared around, and I thank you for it, but I wish they would just like space it out a little bit because it's been overwhelming and going back and forth with them. So I don't, I haven't. This is my excuse for not having a football intro. I will have one for next week, but we'll start with tonight's game. Tonight's game is Minnesota Vikings against the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia is a 6-point favorite. Of course, I'm using mybookie.com's line here. You want to go first with your pick on this? Because I know.
Yeah, so you got Minnesota +6, right? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking for sure.
So you're taking Minnesota?
Yep. As a Bears fan, that hurts a little bit, but I'm taking the smart one here. I'm
taking Philly.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. What is that? Hang on a second.
What?
You have to see what my wife just showed me. Where did you find this? Oh my God. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I think I am. I don't know. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You stole a kid from the orphanage and you're gonna
that's me, bro. Look at those buckhead big ass fucking front teeth. Jesus.
Yeah. What is she doing? Going through memorabilia? Look at me.
I don't know. I think my sister handed it to her or something. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine.
God, that scared me.
So I'm betting the Eagles, and just to kind of be a real spoiler here, I'm probably going to stick with the Eagles right down the line. I think it's going to be Jets versus Eagles in the Super Bowl. You want to make fun of me now? Go ahead. Make fun of me all you want now. When it comes February, you'll be kissing my ass just like Craig Mitchell did with the Mets.
I'm going to make a note that's your Super Bowl prediction.
That's my prediction. Jets versus the Eagles, and Jets win by 2 points.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
I'm writing because I'm saving all these papers. Just so you know, I write all this stuff down every day.
So tonight,
and I'm saving them all. I'm taking a page out of Jackie's book and saving all my notes.
Tonight you got Minnesota and I got the Eagles. I'm giving up 6 points.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And you said the Jets are going to win by 2 or the Eagles are going to win by 2?
Jets are going to win by 2. Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. First time since Zach Wilson is going to end up a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I mean, he could. This could be his destiny Cinderella year for sure.
Could be.
For sure. All right. So then we got Green Bay and Atlanta, right?
We can go there. Hold on, I got to get up to it. That's not the order that they have them on, but I can. Well, give me a second.
Oh well, you can give me whatever order. I got them all.
Green Bay, Atlanta. It's 1 point. Atlanta. Green Bay is a favorite by 1 point over Atlanta.
No, it should. It's Green Bay -1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay -1.
So am I. We're together on the Green Bay thing.
Yeah. You know what? I got to mark that too. So you're taking. I'm gonna mark your.
If you're keeping score at home, we've come to agreement on the second game.
Yeah.
That is it says 11 a.m. Yeah, I guess because 11 a.m. Eastern, right? Wow. Are
It
we
might
starting
no. That's
one though? I don't
probably it is probably Eastern. I don't know.
know. Yeah, let me go down the line. Maybe you can. Do you have it written out on a sheet?
Yeah, I already got all my picks and stuff, so we're good.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
I'm going to go with in their order here. Minnesota. That I went through that one. Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals giving up 3.5 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals minus 3.5.
Well, this is it's in Cincinnati, right?
It is in Cincinnati.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean yeah.
Cincinnati. Okay, next game up we have Kansas City Chiefs, Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Chiefs have had off for 14 days by this time, right? By the time the game starts. Or
Yeah,
not
and they're
10,
mad.
11 days.
And they're the defending Super Bowl champions, and they're pissed off about how week 1 went. They're gonna annihilate Jacksonville, in my opinion.
Yeah, KC. But they're away.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna matter.
You don't think that's gonna matter? Okay.
No.
3.5 points is the spread there. Seattle Seahawks and Detroit Lions. This is a good one. Lions are favorites actually in this game. 2 weeks ago, the Lions would not have been favorite ever for this whole season against anybody. Now all of a sudden they're 5-point favorites. I know Seattle's not very good, but I'm going to go with Seattle and get the 5 points.
I also took Seattle.
I think probably Detroit is probably gonna. They've still got the dildo in their ass from last week, fucking themselves in their glory, saying we beat Kansas City.
Right.
Maybe that's a little too graphic. Maybe these is not the way the pick should go with the graphic dildo comment.
Oh my god.
Indianapolis against Houston, Texas. 1 point. The Colts are favorite now. Jesus, I don't know where to go here. I'm just gonna flip a coin. Indianapolis. I'm going with the favorite.
Oh, all right.
1 point. I mean, obviously
they are at home. So yeah, I mean, you're giving the home team a point, and usually you kind of give home team 3 points automatically. Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely going with Houston on this one.
All right.
You're taking Indy.
I took Indy. The Bears against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bears are giving up 2 points. Oh no, Tampa Bay is favored 2 point by 2.5 points. I know you want to take the Bears, right?
I'm definitely taking the Bears.
Tampa Bay is home. I'm gonna take the Bucs.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, this is a tough one.
It's week 2. It's so, in my opinion, and this is why, like, I don't start using my system until week 5 because there's not really enough data before that for me to crunch the numbers.
I think it's data.
Yeah, whatever. But in these early weeks, I think it's so hard to tell. It's so hard to, and then like you never know what's going to happen with injuries. We might talk about this after the picks. Did you hear about the bar in Wisconsin that had the promotion going that any game that Aaron Rodgers starts for the Jets and they lose, the bar will pay your bar tab.
Wow.
And so on Monday night, there was a very interesting scenario that played out. We could talk about it. I read a whole thing on it. We can talk about it after our picks if you want.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to talk about. Stanhope had a thing about that where he had a bet that one of the online services, not mybookie.com, ones he uses, refused to pay because Aaron Rodgers only had 4 minutes in the game. And they were refunding your bet, but not paying off on your bet, which was
that's horseshit.
Yeah, Las Vegas Raiders against the Buffalo Bills. Now the Bills are probably angry, right? What is this? The Bills are giving up 9.5 points, though. Wow. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of points.
But they're probably angry, and they're home, and they're playing a shitty team. Oh man, I'm giving up 9.5. I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills and giving up 9.5 points.
Man, I'm taking the Raiders. I'm definitely going with the Raiders on this. You can't give the Raiders 9.5 points.
That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. All right, Chargers against the Titans. Los Angeles Chargers at Tennessee Titans. Chargers are favored by 3. I'm going with Tennessee.
I also took Tennessee.
All right. Keeping record here,
Me too. I'm writing it all down.
All right. Packers against the Falcons. We already did that one.
Yep.
San Francisco 49ers at LA Rams. It's wow.
What's the points on that? 7.5?
8.
Oh my God, you got 8? Woo-wee.
I almost have to. I have to take San Francisco, right? It's 8 points. Well, they're giving up 8 points, and they're away. Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers. Fuck me.
I took the Rams.
8 points. New York Giants at Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Giants are favorite in this game. I don't know. I mean, Arizona really has to suck for the Giants to be favorite in this game. You know, last week in the Giants 40-0 loss, they had no team has ever and all these negative things. No team has ever done this, and this all in the same season, and the Giants did it all in one game. That's pretty pathetic. Now, I understand people are picking some people are picking the Cowboys to go all the way, but that's pathetic.
I mean, some people do that every year, no matter what.
Yes, that's true. Giants giving up 5 points. I hate to root against the Giants like you with the Bears, but I got to take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I took the Cardinals also, and you have that as a straight 5 points, not 5.5.
5.5. Yeah, no,
it is 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The Washington Redskins. Commanders. Against the Denver Broncos. Broncos are giving up 3.5 points. I'll go with the Broncos.
I also took Denver to win that.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna I can't pick the Commanders.
All right, here's my lock of the week. We have New York Jets versus Dallas Cowboys at Dallas. 9.5 points. Cowboys are giving up 9.5 points. The Jets are going to win this game outright. The Jets are going to win by 7 points. I'm going to be killing it on this one. This is my lock of the week. My lock of the week: the New York Jets, who are going to the Super Bowl this year. And this is what I want everybody to do. I want you to go. Don't even. You can stop listening right now. We'll just carry on without you. Go to the bank right now. Take out all your money. Go to your kid's piggy bank. Take all that shit out. Bet it all on the Jets. Bet it all everything you got.
Wow.
And check back with me on Monday.
When you're saying this, we should probably have the gamblers helpline flashing below.
Next week.
So you know.
I'll be more prepared next week. This is a new segment we're just trying out here, folks.
It's fucking fabulous, though. Funny as well. Oh my God.
Definitely disclaimer on that.
Jesus Christ.
Don't bet any money ever.
Don't bet your house.
Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. Dolphins giving up 3 points in New England. Now, Dolphins are traditionally, it's still summertime though, even in New England.
Yeah, and they did win last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same New England, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Dolphins generally out of Miami, I don't know.
I mean, okay, but see, like, I don't know. The NFC East is a really contentious, like, in my opinion, like, they fight hard in those games. Like, I really think that those are some of the better. I really like the AFC East as far as the rivalries between the teams within there. Like, I know that their overall records don't always reflect that, but I think that if you looked at within that division, that like it's really anybody's game anytime these teams play. You know.
What is this? 9 point. Wow, we're already going into. Oh, is that it? No, we got one more game, right? No, we got
Should be two more games. I have two more games.
Yeah, 2 more games. Oh, New Orleans against Carolina. Saints giving up 3 points in Carolina. I'm going to take the Panthers.
I also took the Panthers. Why? I'm frozen. Are you frozen?
No, nobody's frozen.
Okay, well, I look.
We'll
my screen is frozen.
Get back in the freezer.
I can, yeah, I can. By the way, he said he loved that it was you doing the video for the freezer. By the way, I told Danica that you loved that it was her.
Yeah. Tell her the pay her check for that her residual check is in the mail, and we forgot to put a stamp on it. Cleveland Browns against Pittsburgh Steelers, the final game of this week. Cleveland Browns against Pittsburgh Steelers. Browns are giving up 2.5 points in Pittsburgh. You know, I got a lot of Pittsburgh people listening. Pittsburgh's one of our biggest demographics, believe it or not. I don't know, because I've had a lot of guests on from there. I don't know, but we get, especially on the radio side, hello, Pittsburgh. We get a lot. So I guess I have to go with Pittsburgh. The Steelers getting 2.5 points. Why can't they make it 3? If they made it 3, I'd be all right.
Right?
I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm gonna take Cleveland. I'm gonna take Cleveland with the upset. I think Mike Tomlin's gonna be pissed off 2 weeks in a row.
All right, so basically, you just lost all the Pittsburgh people. They are not.
I'm not saying. Listen, listen. I want to be honest, okay? And it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm just trying to make the smart pick.
All right, I'm just looking at the Super Bowl picks here now. Eagles are giving up a plus 710 as a for the winner of the Super Bowl this year. I don't know how that calculates, but
that means isn't it like for every dollar you bet you get a $710 back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, plus 7. I think it goes the other way. Actually, where are the Jets? Jets are plus 4,800. Yeah, Jets are all the way down. Arizona Cardinals are at the bottom. Arizona Cardinals are plus 36,000. So if you're betting $1 on Arizona Cardinals and they win the Super Bowl, you get 36,000 back.
Yeah, well, that's why I kept telling people to bet on the Bears to win. Just make a $10 bet. This was before the season. If you made a $10 bet on the Bears to win the Super Bowl, it would have paid you back like almost 70 grand, 60 grand, something like that, because it was like 6,000 to 1.
MyBookie.com thinks the Super Bowl is going to be between the Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. That's not.
They think the Chiefs are going back again, huh?
Especially after last week. Well, 1 week is 1 week. They could have just been overconfident. Whatever. I don't know.
Well, dude, they shouldn't have lost the game. They lost the game because of a pick six that shouldn't have been a pick six. He hit that dude in the hands. You know what I mean? In stride, in the hands. You should be catching that ball all fucking day. Great heads up play by Branch, but that never should have been an interception. For a touchdown. Are you kidding me? No way.
Right.
No way.
The veins popping out of your head the other day on that. That was good. It's good. I don't want to see you have a stroke over it, but it's good to see that kind of emotion.
I do get excited about football. I love football. I grew up in a football town. Like my high school was district champions 23 years in a row. Like we took football very serious.
Yeah. It's time to start doing your homework for National Football Week. We just did your homework for you. We know who to bet now. Again, you want to go to the bank. If you don't have a bank, get your Bitcoin out. New York Jets or my lock of the week. Do you have a lock of the week? One that
you know what? Hang on. Let me peruse it. Hang on. I'm gonna put that down as your lock. Matt's lock.
My lock of the week. I'm gonna bet my house on it, and I'm gonna bet all this equipment. I'm gonna bet everything I have, even this jar of change. This jar of change here. I'm all betting even that. Betting my wife's Bitcoin. She doesn't know it yet. Don't tell her. I'm betting everything. I'm betting everything.
Dude,
I have.
How messed up would it be if I picked for my lock? If I picked my lock as Dallas,
that wouldn't be funny.
I mean, they're the ones getting the most points out of everybody.
Yeah.
Looks
like Robert didn't get my my request to come on at 9:15. He probably checked last night when we scheduled for 10. That's fine. He'll be here. We'll make his segment a little bit short today because our guest will be here at 10:15. Now, a question for you before we talk about this this kind of thing where people are just the bar ripping people off for taking back their bet on the Aaron Rodgers thing. When are you going to South Dakota? Isn't that this weekend or something? No.
I leave today. I fly out this evening. I'll be matter of fact, I don't know if I'll be on in the morning because I'm gonna have a really crazy I won't get into Sioux Falls until 11:30 tonight. So
that's cool. I have two guests tomorrow. One is Rebecca Coffee with the dog. Rebecca Coffee and Amari Richards, who's an author. The first one is a comedian. The second one's an author. So I got plenty to fill out the day tomorrow. That's
okay,
fine.
Cool.
Maybe I'll do the news myself. I'll do it as you. I'll get like a Budweiser thing behind me.
Do you like this? My wife got this for me. You know.
Actually, I don't. I like anything that do with butt. So I'm not a butt person.
I'm a real ass man.
I see that. That's a problem. That's a real problem. You're fecally inclined.
Anyway. I mean, it would give a reason as to why I'm always full of shit. You know what I mean?
This thing with Aaron Rodgers and the scenario. Let me see if I can pull up what Stanhope said about this because I want to make sure I get it right.
Okay, really quick, I do want to say that my lock would be Kansas City. I think. Kansas City over Jacksonville.
That's because you just heard they are favorites to win the Super Bowl again.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's why. That's why.
That's why. You want to go with the safe bet?
Sure.
Did he pull it down? I don't know if he pulled it down. I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing it.
I think.
Nope. Fuck! It ain't there. I'm just saying. No. Fuck, he pulled it down. But so I don't even know the service that he was betting on. But apparently it was a pop something bet where he had the Jets, but they refunded everybody's money because Aaron Rodgers only played 4 minutes of the game. Now, my father was a bookie, and if he would have pulled that shit, he would have been murdered.
Man,
he would have been murdered.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they got to make this right somehow. Nope. Get him away. No, he pulled it down. I think because I can't find the thing. But that's they got to make it. They got to rethink this thing and make it right. No matter how hard it is to take a loss like that, if you're taking the bets, you got to pay off, and then you're going to make it back anyway. But you kill your reputation. This is why don't go with whatever service that Stanhope used. Go with mybookie.com. Make sure you use the promo code MyDog. They won't rip you off. I don't think they ripped anybody off. I got no notices from my bookie that they weren't paying out on the Jets.
Love. Sorry.
But the bar refusing to pay their bar tab now after they promised
No. Okay, so this is what happened. The bar actually, like they honored what their promotion was. It just didn't go the way that fans were assuming it would. Because okay, so Monday night, this is a bar in Milwaukee. I think God, I can't remember the name of it, but it's in Milwaukee, and like something Jack's. Anyway, they said that any game that the Jets start Aaron Rodgers, if the Jets lose, the bar will pay your tab for that night. Okay. So Monday night, Aaron Rodgers starts the game and goes down right away. Well, that whole bar just assumes that the Jets are going to lose the game. I mean, they were down by 10 at halftime. So people were probably really, really running up their tabs only for the Jets to win in overtime.
Oh, wow.
And so, like, people were like really thinking, oh, we're going to stick it to the bar tonight. And no, sir. No, you did not.
Wow.
No, you did not.
The bar did really well then. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate to see the bar do really well. All right, MyBookie is one of our sponsors today. MyBookie works hard to provide all our players with the largest offering of products available in the industry. He's really just betting on the NFL. Who's really betting on? Is anybody out there betting on baseball? It's their goal to give customers a safe place online to bet with the absolute best service possible. No ripoffs like that other one that Doug Stanhope uses. Specializing in current and live Vegas-style odds, early 2024 Super Bowl 57 odds, MLB, NBA, NHL. Nobody's betting on, basketball. Nobody bets on baseball unless you're a fucking hardcore gambler. My father didn't even do baseball or didn't do any business on baseball. I don't remember him doing it anyway. UFC and boxing odds as well. Daily and monthly sports betting bonus offers. Are you big into UFC stuff?
Not so much anymore. I mean, I followed it years ago, but not recently. No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird for me. I used to be heavily into boxing when I was a kid, but it seems like boxing. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you who's the world heavyweight champion right now. Do you know in boxing?
Not in boxing. No. I know that Sean O'Malley just won in the UFC for one of the lighter weights. But like I don't know who's holding championships or stuff like that.
They ruined boxing. Boxing used to be great and filled with heavyweights, and like ABC television. I'm going back now to the 70s. Used to have Friday night fights on. It was 3 hours of boxing on prime time on ABC network, and they would always have heavyweights every single week, and it would be a heavyweight you knew. That was the time when Larry Holmes was champ. But yeah, you had tons of the division was full of people. I can't name a fucking boxer anymore. And even if you weren't a boxing fan, you knew all the names back then. They ruined boxing, and now they ruined it because people were on a high horse about how brutal it was. It was pretty brutal. I mean, but they replaced it with UFC, which to me is far more brutal because, basically doing anything. You can bite the guy in the dick.
You cannot bite the guy in the dick in the UFC.
I think you can. Let's get to
give him the old dick twist.
UFC dick biting.
Yes. Oh my God.
It says right here, yes, dick biting is legal in the UFC. There's a 3-chomp rule.
3-chomp.
Wait, so what? There's actually a rule book. I thought Ultimate Fighting was basically you could do anything.
No. There's they used to, like when it first came out, it was kind of a no rules kind of thing, but they kind of quickly found out that wasn't going to be conducive to longevity of the sport. Like general, like I think that like you're not allowed to elbow to the spine, like with the point, like you cannot like downward elbow to the spine. Like if your opponent was down in front of you, you can't do that. There's no groin shots at all. Hands to the face. Like that's kind of a what?
Never mind. Speaking of dick biting, it's time for Robert Taylor. Let's go bring him in right now. There you go. Why did that bottom thing take so long? Good morning. How long were you in the back? I didn't hear you pop in.
No, I just walked in the house and saw your message. I just turned it on.
What were you out running? You out running?
Yeah.
Yeah. Today we have a guest coming on who's a courtesan. Have you ever patronized a courtesan?
No, I used cortisone before. Huh?
No, cortisone, not courtesan, cortisone. She's a courtisan. It seems you know a lot about pornography and dick sizes and possibly even dick biting in the UFC. A lot of your comments yesterday or in the past this week in the chat room have been related to either dick size, porn references, and things like that. Have we discovered your vice? Everybody has a vice. You don't smoke, you don't drink. What do you do? I think you probably have a huge porn collection.
It's chocolate, man. Telling you. It's chocolate.
Now, did you figure out your video? Because I downloaded that and I can edit your.
I figured it out. I'm a dumbass. I was trying to use an outside editor instead of just using the. I forgot I had this default editor on my laptop. It came out great. I did it last night. Yeah.
So that's up now on YouTube.
No, I'm not putting it on YouTube.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Why not?
I use the material.
Oh.
I'm using it as a showcase video for those veteran shows.
Gotcha. Now, if you don't mind me, there's a good set. It's a good set, but there's a difference in you, and it might be the room because the room seemed really big. But it seemed like you were more aggressive than any other clips I've seen you, and you were almost. I
was amped up.
Huh?
I was amped up.
You were.
I'm jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Well, also too, it was another one of those freaking contests I don't like doing. I just did it for the video, but I was amped up, man, because it was a total military crowd.
Oh, that explains it because you were talking like a military guy.
Yeah, it was actually right outside of Fort Bragg, what it used to be.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
They changed the name of it now, fucking Fort.
I was like, is this a comedy show or am I getting indoctrinated here? Am I getting, shipping me off to Paris Island all of a sudden?
No, because actually Jason Rowland gives me shit for doing all that Marine Corps stuff because he says it's like inside baseball or whatever, but it was for that show, man. You couldn't hear it as well because they didn't mic the audience. Like the audience is coming through my mic. There's 300 people in there. So
wow.
That was a bummer that they put all the money into getting good video footage and the sound was shit.
Right. And you must have been far away from, because even on the wide shot you don't see a single head.
I was back. The stage was back.
Yeah, those big places are hard to even in music. Big places are hard to get used to, especially if I came from the world of a bar where people were right in your fucking face, like here, and you're playing, and to where you're like 150 feet from them or whatever. It's a long way from them. It feels like forever. That's a tough thing to get used to. I don't know. I prefer small, intimate.
That show I did in Greensboro on Saturday night was in a freaking place about as big as a shoebox. Right? It was a comedy club, but it was really small. It's pretty cool when it's packed out. It was packed out all the way to the wall. They were standing room only and stuff. And they were right. There's no stage. it's just the floor, man, and there's
Right.
tables right up to you. It was pretty cool.
That's probably that's kind of what I'll be looking at on Saturday, I'm sure. The Windy City Bites. I love doing shows there because the energy of those crowds is great. But like it's a small venue and it's 100% going to be standing room only. Like there's no doubt in my mind, you know.
Yeah, I like that, man.
I booked a guy yesterday, biker hypnotist stand-up comedian, biker. Gary Michaels, check him out. He called me, and he sounded like a biker guy. He's definitely a Southern guy, not a Sturgis, but he probably has been to Sturgis. But he's on tour right now, and I've seen his video. He's doing the typical stage hypnotism act, but with like a biker. Heavy biker persona. It should be an interesting show when he's on. I've never seen that before, and the X-rated hypnotist kind of stuff from the 70s was my, I don't want to say influence, but it's what first thing I started doing and getting paid really well at in show business. I was doing stage hypnotism, making people think they had a fucking 9-inch cock and all that kind of stuff and acting it out on stage.
I do love those. I love a good hypnotist comedy show. I mean, and some of them are so good. I've been in some amazing ones.
I wasn't good, but just then the times were different. Anything that was naughty. Anything anything that was X-rated would sell, even if I sucked, and I'm sure I sucked because I was a kid. But it made money. I mean, I made better money doing that than I ever did. Not ever did, but at the time was ever doing in the bands, because in those days bands were getting paid, I'd say fucking $300 for a full 6-piece band. So that, what was that, $50 a piece or something? And with that stuff, I was making $350, $400 a night. So, yeah, people like that stuff. What do you got coming up this weekend? You got stuff coming up this weekend? Shows, Robert?
Yeah, were you talking to me or Robert?
Yeah, I was talking to Robert. You've been
I'm sorry.
here. We can talk about your shows too, but this is Robert's segment.
I'm going to Vegas, man.
Vegas, baby.
Oh, that's right. So when are you getting on the flight? Tonight?
No, Saturday. I'm going to tomorrow night. I'm going to Daniel Tosh.
Oh, nice. Where at?
In Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on tour right now. He doesn't answer. He doesn't answer emails. His people don't answer emails. That's fine.
Maybe they just don't answer yours.
This is true.
Create some fake email thing without your name on it and see if they answer.
It's not my name. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. It's when they see the name, they go and do the research and say, "Oh, he's got 13,000 subscribers. Fuck him. He's a nobody." That's what it is. So I'd have to say, yeah, my name is Joe Rogan. Would you be? I know. Look me up, Joe Rogan. But my real name is Joe Rogan. Is just.
Did you see? It didn't take Joe Rogan long to get on the bandwagon. Did you see who he's got on the show this week?
Matt Rife.
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
But you know what though? He jumped on that guy that sings that fucking what's a rich man north of
Anthony Oliver.
He jumped on that guy on there like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Now this is Joe Rogan. This is proof that Joe Rogan's a lying cocksucker. A sucker of his own cock.
For somebody accusing me of being into pornography, you said cock and cocksucker about 100 times since I've been on here.
Cock.
I'm just saying. It's on tape. It's on tape.
Willie's got a cocky cock.
Wow.
Rogan, one guy, and I forget the guy who it was. I don't think I even knew who it was. Some dude was offering him a bet. The bet was, if I win the bet, I get to host the show for a week. And Rogan told him, "Oh, you're out of your fucking mind. You know the value of this show for hosting it for a week and all that." But then he said, "We're booked solid. My calendar is booked for 2 years in advance." And then he pulls people out that you never heard of. So you know he was lying about it.
Right. Well, no, I mean, to be fair, he did make.
Don't be fair.
He did make the concession that sometimes, like when like this Oliver dude, he definitely was a spark out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that with that situation, he had the opportunity to get him before other people. And I mean, of course, I think it was a smart move to like jump somebody like that forward on the line, because it's definitely going to get you more views. You know what I mean? And I mean,
will it? I mean, I don't think Rogan has to worry about getting more views. I think he gets a consistent 11 million every single day and doesn't have.
You know what I mean, though. But I think that he understands that his demographic, especially, is going to want to hear from that particular dude. And because he was like this huge flare up, he makes time where he didn't really have time, because I'll guarantee you somebody got bumped for that dude to be on there.
You know what I mean? Me that? Is that your lock of the week? That
did Joe Rogan bump somebody to get the Oliver dude on his show? Yes, I guarantee you that someone got bumped. Someone much more famous than him.
All right,
Oliver.
Who do we know who can verify this? We got to know people who can verify this. Brett Erickson is in touch with Joe Rogan. Let's ask Brett to ask Joe just to ask this, and we can figure out if you won that lock of the week or you're a loser. I think you're a loser.
I could be. I'm a loser, baby.
That's
Why don't you kill me?
What's his name? The actor. He's in The Natural. He's the guy, the money guy, the bookie in The Natural, and he takes his eye out and looks at his last eye out, and he goes, "I think you're a loser."
You're talking about the Robert Redford movie?
Yeah, Robert Redford movie.
The Natural.
The guy who played Night Stalker.
Darren McGavin.
What's his name?
Darren McGavin.
Yeah,
what?
That's it.
What is happening?
What, you're sideways?
No,
you froze up and sideways.
Am I messed up, dude?
Yes.
I can't even see anything. My lock screen came on.
All right, well, close out. I'm gonna bump you out. Come figure out.
Okay, now we're back. Now, yeah, that was so weird. So weird.
CIA is fucking with you, dude.
YouTube.
Yeah, you're on a list. So
I probably am on a list.
In Vegas, Robert, you're going Saturday night. You're performing Saturday night, or you just
Monday night.
Monday?
Mm.
Monday.
Yeah. Where at?
Well, in Vegas, every night is Saturday night.
I'm not getting there till like 6 or 7 o'clock at night on Saturday. Then the registration for the conference or whatever it is, it opens on Sunday. Everything starts on Sunday.
Right. Now, I thought because you weren't in Boston, right? So how did you get into Vegas if you weren't in Boston? I don't.
That has nothing to do with it, man. It's your video. It has nothing to freaking. That's why I said it's weird the way they do it. Those satellites are individual events where you can get extra points. It's a whole freaking.
You know what? Let's do this.
Is this part of the World Series of Comedy?
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah,
World Series of Comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Now that's better. Now I'm thanking me for my service. You're welcome. How about that?
But they got some. Looks like they got some pretty good seminars lined up out there.
So my guest who's coming on in about 6 minutes. Hopefully she'll be here.
What time zone is she in?
Her stage name, that's SCPHE Haven. I'm thinking SCPHE is safe, right? It looks like Sephi.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah,
Haven.
I'm sure it is.
Safe Haven is an actress who is also an author, and she wrote a series of books called My Horizontal Life. Horizontal, as in WHORI. She's a former contemporary courtesan. Have you ever?
Man, I'm not touching that one.
You're not touching it. I think. Well, courtesan is not like a street hooker. It's like, a high class hooker. It's like a $500 a night hooker.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't say hooker. Maybe is that disrespectful?
Escort.
I don't know. I'm not sure it's an escort either. We'll ask her. I mean, if she wrote that book, she can't be too shy about talking about it.
What time zone?
I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that she probably doesn't like to be referred to as whore.
Well, she put whore in the title of the book, horizontal. My horizontal.
My horizontal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Who knows?
But she's got a one-woman show opening in. She's done stand-up. It's got a really interesting background, but she's got a one-woman show running for a week in Chicago, and then it might come to New York and all that stuff. So it will based on her life in the book. She's done stand-up and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure she'll be open about it. I hope she gets here and figures out how to do this stuff, because we went back. She's one of these people who found out because of you putting that ad out. And
hey, blame this guy. Blame this guy, because he friend requested me. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I should definitely accept his friend request. And then I was looking on his page and I saw your post that he shared. And so I shared it to a bunch of comedy groups.
I think that was like from a month ago. And I'm used to putting that out and getting like 2 requests a day.
I'm a team player, man. I'm a team player.
Yeah, me too. I was like, yeah, Team Matt, let's go. Let's get some guests for Coffee with the Dog.
I try not to recruit people from anywhere but the Eastern time zone because they never show up.
Right. Will you be back for Monday, Willie?
Yeah. By Monday, I'll have it figured out what I'm doing and stuff. I'll have a news report Monday.
All right, cool. Because next week we have a good week. Good week. You want to know who's on next week?
I would love to know.
Well, Monday morning, the first guest Monday morning is Mary Wallace, who had to reschedule, but she's that birth order author about birth order, and that might not be like the big hot point of next week, but that's how we're starting off. Then Jackie Martling will be in after that, and we'll talk about the documentary. We'll talk about all the stuff. He's got some shows coming up that are he wants to promote and stuff like that, and then he'll be on Bertcast on Wednesday, so we'll be talking about that. On Tuesday, we have Dave Landau. Dave Landau, you familiar with Dave Landau, Robert?
Yeah, he was in Myrtle Beach this weekend, I think.
Yeah, and that should be an interesting one, because Dave is a very he's a right winger. I wouldn't call him extremely right winger, but he's got a connection to extreme right wing people. As far as his co-hosting, he co-hosted with Anthony Cumia. He was the number 1 seat on Louder with Crowder, and now he's on Glenn Beck's network. So, nice. You don't see I don't see a lot of good comedians coming out of the right wing, the far right wing. You don't see a lot of,
right.
I just don't see it. So, but he's good. I like him. And he has kind of, I don't know, taught me something about being prejudiced about comedy, because I assumed that since he was a Crowder guy, he wasn't going to be funny. And then I watched his special, and it wasn't overtly political, overtly hateful. And he has a lot of empathy. It seems like he's an exception to, he's a moderate right winger. That's what I would say. But he is associated himself with far right wingers. Then on the 20th, Sarah Tolemash. Are you familiar with Sarah? You're not familiar with Sarah?
Say the last name again.
Tolemash.
T-O-L-L-E. Is she like dark curly hair about blonde, like shoulder length?
A blonde. Have you heard of Joe List?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Joe List's wife.
Yeah, his wife.
Oh, okay.
But she's also a very accomplished comedian on her own. She's been on all the late night shows. Here in New York.
Oh yeah, she's she's friend with the other comic you had on there, right?
Right.
The
Yeah.
one
Okay.
lady.
Katie
Yeah.
Hannigan. She has a podcast with Katie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
looking for next week. And then Sam Bloomstone on Thursday. Mark Barnes. Mark Barnes is had to cancel all because of emergencies. And we only have one on Thursday. And AX Foster on the 22nd. So next week's a full week. Our guest has arrived. So Robert, I'm going to let you go now. We wish you good luck in Vegas. Keep, if you can, pop in from Vegas and let us know how it's going Monday. Stop. It'd be really early for you though, right? It'd probably be 6 o'clock in the morning or something, even 7 o'clock in the morning. But if you can,
I'll be a no-show.
all right. I'm going to play you. I'm getting too many intros and outros here stacked up that I can't even find them. We're going to say goodbye to you. Thank you for your service. Salute him. Salute
All
him.
right, man. Have a good weekend. You guys have a
All
good
right. Bye for now. Our next guest is and I hope it's safe because it looks like Seffi, Isadora. Safe Haven is an actress from a really fine drama school who took a break to pay off her student loans and lost track of time. Eventually, she began telling stories, doing stand-up, and writing her memoir called My Horizontal Life. Horizontal Life. I don't even say that. Which details her journey from girlhood to contemporary courtesan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Is it Sefe or Safe?
It's Seffi, yeah.
Seffi.
Well, because Haven made me think I was it should be safe. Anyway, welcome and thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Now you have a show. You know what? I should have shown it. Willie, duck.
Ah, there it is.
This is your show that is opening in Chicago on the 19th of this month. What can we expect in that show?
It took 10 years to write it, so it's a good show.
Wow.
And so, it's a story about what it was to want to be an artist, to want to be, and then to end up going for 15 years to school and then getting out and being told that I wasn't beautiful enough, that there was no room for me, that I wasn't commercial.
Kidding me?
So then I was deeply in debt like everyone else who takes student loans. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be homeless. And then I saw this ad, and it was a long time ago. So there was newspapers back then.
You don't look old enough to be associated with newspapers, but continue.
Oh, well, thank you. And phone books too, and pagers and cell phones.
Well,
but the ad was like, it was. So I answered the ad, and it turned out to be escorting. And I was like, oh, that means you accompany men to the ball, right? What is that?
Sort of, yeah.
Ball is in a different place, but yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the ball hall, yeah.
Now, when did you find out where it really meant? When you first got into a hotel room? Oh, that's what this means?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I had a job like that, not like that. But I had a job where I found out it wasn't what I expected because I got it through an ad in the newspaper. It was for it said they were looking for somebody who was savvy in media, video production, and graphic design and all that kind of stuff. And then I got the job, and my first day on the job, I was reporting to a doctor, and he said, I hope you're not squeamish. I said, why? He said, well, we're going to go down and do an autopsy. It's like, I thought I was a media guy, and I was videotaping and helping out with actually reaching into a body and grabbing out hearts and weighing them and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a shocking. Wait a minute, finding out in the hotel room that you're gonna fuck me now.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I'm shocked that I'm going to flirt with you a little bit here. I'm shocked that somebody said you weren't beautiful enough for the arts. I think you're a very beautiful woman. I have a thing for redheads to begin with, but but I can't believe somebody actually said. Did they actually say those words to you?
Well, it was a long time ago, back in the 80s. And in those days, if you remember, the TV had, like, for women, even now, there's a million men's roles and there's 3 women. But the TV at that time was just TV. There was no streaming. So there was like 3 women's roles in all of it. You either looked like Pamela Anderson or you looked like her ugly best friend. And that was kind of it, you know? And so, so they did say, you know, there was an article written about it, actually, written by Aaron Sorkin, who was a young cub reporter at the time. And he wrote about this, and he said, you know, why did this happen to you? So he went and asked all the casting directors and agents, and he collected information. And one of them said, well, she's just not fuckable. And, you know, she's not commercial. I wouldn't know what to do with her. But, you know, it was kind of true at that time. Like, where were they going to put you? What wasn't true was there was comedians, you know, which I could have, you know, fit into that. Or there was the stage, which was fine. But they just didn't see the money signs. So, you know.
So to the stage, bringing this to now, what came first, the book, or were you already doing stand up and telling stories on stage before the book? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Or, as I said last night, and Ian pointed out that I was mixing metaphors, putting the chicken before the horse.
Oh,
I was trying to say horse before the cart, cart before the horse, and chicken and egg, and it came the chicken before the horse.
Yeah, well, the horse came first, and then the chicken, and then there was a couple of pigs, and you know.
As long as somebody came, I guess.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I'm very. It's radio in the morning. So now, putting is it an hour-long show? Time-wise,
Time-wise, it's an hour right now, an hour 22.
That's a long time to be on stage by yourself.
Yep. It sure is.
I can't believe how much I can talk. It's amazing.
I
My
know.
ex-husband the same too. You talk.
And I'm assuming it's much more cohesive than me just talking for 2 hours here in the morning, as I've been known to do, and absolutely say nothing. I can talk for 2 hours and not say anything that makes any sense or means anything to anything.
That's a skill.
But that's a long time. That's longer than most comedy specials. Now you're filming this. What are you planning on releasing it as a streaming service type show, or?
You know, I don't know. I mean, we're all on strike right now, and so we'll see. I guess we're filming it, and we'll see how long the strike is and what happens. I don't know what we'll do with it yet. I know we wanted to film it because, you know, you do theater and it takes 10 years to create and then money raised and then you put it up and then it's gone. So we really wanted to film it really nicely. So we hired an incredible film crew to come, and we're going to film 3 shows of it so that we have enough footage to make it wonderful, so that it's, you know, if it was Netflix worthy, it would be Netflix worthy.
Very cool.
So we'll see. Yeah. It should be really interesting.
Cool. Even though I don't think Netflix generally doesn't have an hour and a half show. It's either it's an hour or a half hour. I can't, you know, that makes it a little. Any concerns about that? The length being too long for television, or be too long for that kind of use, the distribution of it?
I haven't really thought about the monetization. I know that when Phoebe Waller-Bridge did her play, Fleabag, when she did it as a play, they filmed it in the National Theatre, I think, or maybe it wasn't. It was maybe Soho Theatre or something in England, and then she went on to do the play, and then she won the Edinburgh Festival, and then, you know, she wrote the play, the TV show in England, and then she took it here too. So I guess my idea, I'm not Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but my idea would be to have done a show that good where we present it and they go, oh, this is great. What can we do with this?
Right.
You know?
You mentioned you mentioned the strike. Are you a screen in the Writers Guild of America or SAG? Or?
Yeah, I'm SAG. So
okay,
yeah.
But so that's interesting because a lot of the SAG people are doing podcasts and streaming work, and where does the line cross?
Yeah, it's not included.
It's really of the contracts. It's about contracts with these bigger conglomerates who are, you know, I get royalty checks for 22 cents right now. things like that. It's just, you can't make a living anymore as a middle-class actor.
Wait, come on. You can't live on 22 cents.
Well, I tried, but then I had to go do that hooker thing again.
And I was telling everybody courtesan meant that you made more. I mean, Willie didn't know what the word meant. I have to be honest. Last night I had to look it up. Courtesan. What is that? But the difference, because you're, what do you want to grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? A prostitute said, "No girl ever." The difference
Courtesan,
between
maybe.
the wording and the terms we use: prostitute, hooker, escort, and courtesan. I would think courtesan is the the star.
One of the nice ones, yeah.
What is it? Is there a
Yeah.
differentiator?
Yeah, there is. Like in you said you're in the media business, so they called you in for autopsies, and you're like, no, they're not what I do. So there's a big difference between in any business. You can't just banking. You're like, oh, are you a teller or are you an auditor? There's a lot of different ways to be. So in that business of pleasure and love, there is a lot of different categories. There's girls that are unfortunately on the streets who have pimps or trafficked or something terrible. Then there's girls who work in brothels. That's a whole other thing. And there's girls in the sections who are strippers, as you know, I'm sure. And then and then there are girls who are escorts that see people by the hour. And then there are mistresses that are a whole different thing, and really rich wives. That's a whole different contract.
Look, Willie just got excited.
Yeah.
And courtesan is more somebody that you would get, and they get to know you, and they get to like you, and you like them, and there's a whole relationship going on that's private and secret, that doesn't interfere with life, and convenient too, because you could probably make an appointment and say, I'm going to be horny on Thursday, and I think I'll have her over.
Any like super rich or popular big names that people would recognize on your client list?
Yes, but I will not tell.
I am not going to ask you to disclose who they were, but that's got to be a little tricky, right? You have to sneak around like an affair. No,
I think I mean, I'm not. Be like me going to your house, which we did, right? Mm-hmm. No, yeah. No, it'd be like just who's going to follow it? So no, it's not. But you bring up a good point, because one of the things is you want discretion. So I don't know if you remember years ago, I think it was Anthony Weiner or somebody. There was a New Jersey governor or somebody.
Anthony Weiner, are you talking about?
Not Anthony Weiner, but the other one who was in New Jersey. It was like 10 or 15.
Right, yeah. Elliot Spitzer.
Yeah, thank you. The mistake that he made was, of course, just calling these services and just laying out his checks and credit cards. Whereas if he had gone with a private girl, nobody would have ever known ever. So that's kind of the difference, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, that was just stupidity.
Hey,
what the hell?
Sorry, my dog just.
I figured it was your dog. I didn't think it was your wife doing that. That would be interesting. Yeah. Oh, that was my dog barking. No. I thought it was the cat.
Listen, I'll get my Captain Obvious suit on. All right. I'll do.
Yeah. So how much humor is in this show? You said you have a stand. Well, you didn't say, but in
I bet it's pretty funny.
You have a stand-up background. How much of this is like? Is it all humor? Is it humorous or?
It's a humorous. I didn't put any stand-up in it, but your earlier question was great, because I started out telling stories and doing stand-up about this subject because I do it otherwise. So I did it in stand-up, and it was shocking, apparently. And like the worst, raunchiest comedians were like, "How could you do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's so awful." But a girl, do you know the comedian Ada Rodriguez?
No, I don't.
Oh, she's amazing. But
I'm going to look her up today, and she'll be getting an email from me later on.
She's awesome. And she was headlining, and I was just, a little potato along the way. And I guess my set caught her interest, and she came out and talked about my set in her set, and talking about, y'all got to have mad respect. And she was talking about she's a Latina. And so she was talking about she would have made less money than me because I'm white, she kind of made all these jokes about that. But she had said to me after the show, she said, if you don't write this down, like a book or a TV show or something, somebody's going to take this stuff from you. So I went home and I thought it takes you, for me, I'm not a natural comedian, stand up. So I thought it takes me so long to create, 25 minutes. It was a long time. So I thought, well, if I write it into a book and take that time. So I wrote the book, the first book, within the time that I would have, written a comedy set. And then I wrote a second book. And then I started to really finish the play. But and then when it finished, we did a Kickstarter and surprisingly raised enough money to do the show. And now we're in tech this week, and I'm in Chicago, like teching. So
Very cool. Now,
yeah,
why Chicago? Is Chicago your hometown? Is that where you're from?
it is, but also it's a great theater town. Like people want to come to the theater here. And it's a great town in general. But so I was kind of a homecoming. But also when I tried to do it in LA, I mean, the LA is not a theater town. And every time I'd ask somebody, like, can you do, the lights or the sound or this or that, they'd all say, not all, but many would say to me, well, like, it depends. Like, if Steven Spielberg calls, then I have to go. Like, so, okay, dude. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I would think that LA would be a place where you would not get a lot of. First of all, LA is they think Spider-Man is genius. Like, those are the ideas they're looking for. And there are so many people. It's to me, it's like telling a comic to go to Austin right now. You're going to be competing with 10 billion other comics for a limited number of stages and all that stuff. But so you have a week run? Is that how long
Yeah, well, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 2 shows on Saturday. And then we're filming those 2 shows on Saturday and then Sunday. And so we're filming on Sunday. And so then after that, we'll have a film so I can then, present it to other theaters and say, do you want to produce this? Stuff like that. So
is there anything to the production that would make it difficult to take it to another city, or is it just you with a microphone?
no, we have a full set and it's beautiful. The set is gorgeous. And I've got great, like hundreds of sound cues and hundreds of lighting cues. It's beautiful set and it's wonderful. It's being wonderfully produced. We have such talented people. So, but could I go and just stand at a mic? Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
So I workshopped it all like you guys,
That's really cool though. That's really cool that you did that.
Now, do you have a marketing team, or are you doing this all yourself? I mean, because it seems like a really interesting idea, but I'm curious, like how you market this, because a lot of people take to like Twitter or social media and doing reels and but you haven't actually performed this show yet, right? Or
Right. So I have like a couple people that are working on the show. I have a wonderful producer and Aubin Philibom, and she's just amazing. And then we have a couple other people who are taking to like Instagram and that sort of thing. But I'm terrible at social media, so I kind of farm it out.
I'm gonna when Sarah is here next week, I'm going to talk about this idea about in the old days. In my day, when back when the horse and carriage, you if you were in the arts, your job was to perform well on stage or in film or television, whatever you were doing. Now your job is that to start with, and then you have all this. Comedians have to do lots and lots. They're on billions of podcasts. They're on reels every day, constantly producing content for social media. And I think we've created a thing where you used to have a job that was livable. You could fulfill your artistic desires and make money and make a living at it and still have a life. And now it's not. It's basically when you're done on stage, you have to go home and create content now. And
man.
It's so true. I mean, the good thing about that, if there is a good thing about it, is back in the olden days too, like if you wanted to create your own stand-up or you wanted to create your own characters in a play, you really didn't have much of a choice. You could, film it yourself at home on that big VHS thing, with the big tape. And then what do you do with it? There was no place to put it. You'd kind of hand it to people and go, hey, take a look. What do you think? But there was now, at least if you do create something, there's places for it and people will watch you.
Yeah, but it's backwards now because, and I agree with you 100%. It creates opportunity for people who might not necessarily have the financial backing to do it in a huge Hollywood style. But I have had the privilege of interviewing Robert Klein, who was the very first HBO special guy, and it was totally different. Then they would come and say, "Here's $100,000, produce a special," and then now it's I produce a special and see how I can make it pay the bills, pay for my investment, or you have to do an indie go or a fund,
Yeah,
GoFundMe, all that kind of stuff.
that's right. That's what we did too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all backwards now, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The bad part of having this ability to produce yourself and get yourself out there is people with no talent can also do that. And
They are doing it.
they are doing that, and it muddies the water. So when you're trying to find good content, you have for the consumer, you have to dig. It requires the people at home not to sit on the couch and just wait for good content to come to them. They have to actually do work and go look for good stuff, and that nobody wants to do that. I get home from a hard day's work. I want to just sit on the couch and have a beer and melt.
You're right. It's so true.
Yeah. Um. Now, with the content that you share, first of all, I've noticed that you use your real first name in here. I think that Isadora is your real first name. But is there any inclination to hide your identity in some of this stuff, and not so keep your parents or family protected, or
Yeah, initially, of course, I did. That's why I chose a pen name. I chose Seffi Haven to hide that and to protect my family and that, of course. But then when the play was finished, I act under Isadora. So I thought, how am I going to do this? Because the play is by Seffi Haven, and I have it split up. I'm like, a play by Seffi Haven and also Isadora, and you'll see them both together in one person. So, so yeah, I think at this point it's sort of a coming out. There's not really anything I can do about it. So I'm hoping that it's safe and everybody's okay, but probably not. Who knows? It's not an offensive play, and there's not a lot of you would think there'd be a lot of sex in it. My mother said a really
I would
cute
hope.
Yeah, I want sex. I want sex. No, my mother didn't know what it was about, and I won't tell her. And so she was very cute. She said to me, "I'm not going to see your play because there's a lot of sucking penises." And I said, "No, there's really none of penises on the stage." Well, So
That's illegal, Ma.
It's not in my house either. So.
It doesn't happen in my house either.
Oh no,
really?
Oh, you changed your tune from earlier on in the day. You were all boasting, and now all of a sudden you're humble.
Yeah. Well, that's not my choice. Believe me, I'd rather it be happening.
Okay. Yes. Part of this stuff, I think I would be really shy about talking about this stuff. But how did you? Maybe you're not a shy person, but I think most creative people are that I've known are introverts and shy by nature. But when you get on stage, you become a different person. Has there ever been any kind of, I don't know, inclination to be shy about this stuff, or not be sharing that much?
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody for most of my life. I didn't tell anybody. But then
Wow.
I thought, I wrote the books because I wanted to say, what I found is I wanted to say it in a way that I knew it really was. Because you'd watch it, you'd hear the way people thought about prostitution or thought about escorts or thought about courtesans. And I thought that's not the truth at all. And then they'd portray it on TV, written by men who have never been in, don't know. And so it's really more loving and funny, and it's wackadoodle life, but you got great girlfriends. We all
Right.
band together, and the men were great, and it was just so different. It was more funny. It was like Mary Tyler Moore, as an escort or something. It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah. And so I just thought I want to say it the way it is instead of letting people interpret it. And if I say it the way it is and the word gets out that this is the way it is, maybe there won't be so much prejudice against it, or
Yeah, I think we'll always be hung up by it, but the people who are most hung up by it are probably conservatives who use them. That's my I think there's a lot of hypocrisy. The people with the most money who afford the $1,000 a night prostitutes are the ones
A
who think.
night? No, that's an hour. $1,000 a night. What are
Yeah,
you talking about? Who are you going to?
believe me, it wouldn't. I'd be rejected by whatever. I'm not. um, a personal question. If you don't want to answer it, I'm digging deep into your heart here. Now, ever develop feelings for real strong feelings, like fall in love? Have you
Yeah,
ever?
I
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
with somebody you were working with.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a client, and I met him, and we fell madly in love, and I left the business for him for a while, and then when it didn't work out, I ended up back in the business. But yeah, from the first moment I met him, it was crazy.
and
Wow.
and no broken heart. Because
No,
listen,
it
it's
was
hard for me
broken
to put
hearted.
myself in that position because nobody would ever pay me. But
Poor Matt.
well,
Poor
Willie
Matt.
Willie paid me, but that's a whole other story. Um,
I'll pay you again too.
I know you are. But I would I get a broken heart easy. None of that, because and then I would be devastated and not be able to leave the house for 6 months. I'd be
Yeah,
crying.
that was me too. I'm with you. Definitely. Yeah,
Wow.
I was like very devastated too.
See, these are the things people need to know, that you're human, you have a heart, your heart can be broken, you can fall in love, all these kind, because you don't. I guarantee you that's not the perception about the occupation.
Right, which is why I hope when people see the show, they'll have a whole different. It's a lovely show. It's funny and it's sweet and it's heartbreaking and it ends happily. So you don't go home with like, you know.
Now, there's nobody else in it. It's just you, right? It's a one-woman show?
It's a one-woman show. There's a lot of voiceovers because it's people, and there's a lot of people backstage doing a lot of beautiful work. So it's not. I'm not just alone. I'm alone on stage, but I'm
Right.
surrounded by people.
Still a very brave endeavor, I think, because listen, I've been performing all my life, but going up on stage alone is one of the bravest things. I always say stand up is like probably one of the most bravest endeavors we can do. But an hour and 22 minutes by yourself up on stage, and for me, the minute I start feeling a little bit, I don't want to put things in your head. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this. But for me, if I sense anything doesn't work, I start to sweat and I start to get insecure and I think the audience could smell that on you. Look, look, he's getting frightened now. Now's the time
Yeah.
we could start booing.
Panics. Yeah. Let's get him.
Where does the courage come from to be able to do that?
Oh my goodness. I don't, is it courage? I don't know. I think,
It sure is.
I think it is.
I think stand up was scary, super scary, because, and partly because you have to get a laugh. You have to, I think it would be unsuccessful as a stand up if I didn't get some laughs. So that's what made stand up so scary because, that's either happens or it
Right.
doesn't. But with
Yeah.
what was scary for me initially was in all the years that I was acting, even in lead roles, I never did an hour and a half by myself.
Right.
Right.
So I was like, and I'm
Yeah,
old.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. That's extraordinary courage, because if it's 5 minutes, you're looking at your watch and you say, I can get through this, and then you're off stage, and then you just go back to your hotel room and think, where's the cyanide, or if I could stick the pillow over my head, whatever. Cry yourself through the night and live through it and get by. But an hour and 22 minutes, I'd be like, oh my God, I still have an hour and 17 minutes to go here, and I am dying. That's,
Well, luckily, I don't have to get laughs for an hour and 22 minutes.
all right. Mike, who is in the chat room, one of the people in, it looks like Mike's in the YouTube chat room. He said, I would go to see it, let her know about the Long Island Theater. Now, if she takes it to New York, she's going to take it to New York City. She's not
What
coming out.
theater in Chicago will you be at?
So it's at the Greenhouse Theater, which is on Lincoln, in Lincoln Park, and it opens Tuesday. And it's spelled WHOR, like as in really horizontal.
Right.
There it is. Funny. I think you look better like this, Willie. Greenhouse Theater. It doesn't have the Lincoln Avenue in Chicago. That's where it is.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the theaters in Chicago. I'm surprised that Chicago is a big theater town.
Oh, it's great.
I
It's
shouldn't be, but
yeah. Where are you guys in New York?
I'm in New York. I'm on Long Island, New York. But of course, New York City, Broadway. I mean, I don't think. And I've been to. My brother lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, and goes to theaters all the time. He goes to plays, and I'm like, do they even have like theater companies there? And it's just weird. I don't expect it because I've traveled the world and I've traveled to the United States, especially, and it just doesn't feel like New York. I mean, the theater district in New York, there's nothing that compares to that. And so when I think it's a different experience. But of course, Chicago's a major. It's not really a second city. It's probably a first city. New York's a second city now. But
Well, I think the difference between New York and Chicago theater is New York is mostly Broadway, mostly big productions. There's very few anymore. It used to be a lot, but very few places that can continue to survive there because it's so high, the cost of doing a show. So Chicago's sort of a welcoming place. They make it affordable,
Yeah.
for independent artists, which is
Right.
used to be in New York, but not anymore. So I would love to check out the Long Island Theater. I could
Right.
send them the clip.
I have a theater for you, but it's out in the Hamptons now. The Hamptons are probably full of people who have hired courtesans.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, the Hamptons a big money place, and I have a theater out there that would be perfect for this show. And I will talk to Abby about the possibility of bringing the show. Now,
Thank you.
if the show does well and you're ready to take it on the road, and let's assume the show's going to knock them dead, and you're going to get all great reviews, and you're going to do well with this, and you want to take it on the road, is that up to you to come up with the road money? I mean, the financing to take the show on the road?
Well, that's a good question. We had to finance it here. So this is the first production. That's why we did it really big. And that's why I think if we wanted to, we would do like what you said, we would hand it to your friend Abby with the film of it and say, do you guys want to produce this? It's not that expensive to produce. And they might want it because right now it's expensive to produce shows. So
Yeah.
it's a show that comes really in a tight package and they can probably make a profit off of it. So, yeah.
Well, we wish you great luck with it. Now, the book is actually a series, right? I'm going to cover you up for just 1 second and show you a book of it. There you go.
That's the one. That's the second one.
That's the second one.
Yeah,
Now,
the
it's a series, right?
Yeah, the first one is called My Horizontal Life.
Right.
And this one is this. I was meant to write a sequel to it, but somehow I ended up. So the one you showed is the prequel to that.
That's the one. What do you want to be when you grow up? A prostitute said, "No girl ever."
Right.
That's a long title. I can't believe I remembered.
Not the title. The title is a someday courtesan. You silly.
I do recall one of the first things I wanted to be as a youth was a male review dancer because the women in my county would lose their minds when the Thunder from Down Under poster went up. And I was like, I want to make ladies that excited. You know what I mean?
That's a good goal. But you could do that now, even still, and we'd be all
happy. I could. Maybe.
I ended up in
your ambition, William.
I ended up in a Thunder from Down Under show.
I bet you in your bolo tie.
I got it was in Vegas, right? Thunder from Down Under, but I wasn't going to that show. I was going to the Australian Bee Gees show, and somehow I went in the wrong door. And there's me and all these horny women, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, wow, there's no guys in here. And then the guys come out, and they're all. It's like, wow, they must all assume I'm gay.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did.
What do I do? Do I get up and walk out? Do I show that I'm an idiot, or do I
just let everybody? Decorum?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the penis to come in my face right now.
Yeah, because they're gonna come to you because they gotta respect. I guess we gotta dance for this guy too.
So I compromised. I waited like 15 minutes. And then I kind of crawled out of the place. I shimmied out of the seat, and I was kind of hunched over and trying to hide my face so they're getting out. It was a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
But don't you have to dance, be able to dance to have that occupation? You don't
I
have to.
mean, you would think it's part of the. You would think so, but I know if I was to work at some male strip joint, it wouldn't be like Chippendales. It'd be more like Chuck and Daryl's. You know what I mean? Like a little more white trashy, a little more ran down.
Well, yeah. Well, Sefe, I like that name now. I thought it was. I wasn't sure how I was supposed to pronounce it, but I like your name now.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate you being here. We wish you good luck with the show. If I'm gonna reach out to the people I know here, but you know, if there's anything I can do to help promote it in the meantime, other than put out the stuff to my mailing list, let people know you're going to be there in Chicago. It starts the 19th, correct? That is.
Yeah, it goes it's open to the public on Thursday and Friday, and the other nights are sort of invitation only.
Oh,
But
so Tuesday
yeah.
is the 19th. That's invitation only?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you. That's high class, invitation only show. That's that's pretty cool, been pretty impressive. Because did you send out enough invitations to fill the entire theater?
Well, no. But we had donors that donated, and so we wanted to offer them special nights to come, just for them.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that because sometimes when we have too big a venue, I don't like it because I know, like I've played recently in a venue that holds 4,000 people. There were 200 people there, and it feels like I'm a failure then. And
right, yeah, that's got
200 people is a nice night on a Wednesday night, but if in a place that holds 4,000, yeah, it just feels like. It feels really empty. Does the energy affect your performance? That kind of the crowd energy?
I think it will. I don't know. I hope it doesn't too much. I want to keep steady as to what I'm doing. But it's not like stand up where you get a laugh and you kind of start writing that. It's you can improv with it. This isn't really an improv, so I hope I just keep steady on it and not get. When people are laughing their heads up, I hope I'm just not turned away.
Yeah. Well, again, I wish you great success with this. We'll do whatever we can to help promote it, and please do come back sometime. You're a delight to talk to, and I appreciate it. I'm going to read the book. I haven't obviously read the book. I didn't know about it before 2 days ago or 3 days ago, but I will get the book and read it, and hopefully, everybody's locking up at me at the same time. What was that bandwidth? I guess somebody just broke the internet. Anyway, we appreciate you being here, and do please come back sometime.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Bye, you guys.
Our pleasure. Okay. Bye for now. Sefe Haven, folks. Show is called My Horizontal Life. It opens to the public on the 24th of this month. And we'll put all the information out there. Get on my mailing list so you can keep up with this information. What do you think about that, Willie? Good conversation. Yes.
Yeah, no, that was a great interview. She's I hope her show does really good. And if she's got a couple invite shows, it probably wouldn't hurt to invite like maybe like a reviewer from one of the papers or something like that.
She probably thought of that, and then her marketing people. Let's give her a little bit of assume some credit there, but yeah,
right, yeah, that's probably true.
We look forward to the reviews and all that stuff. She's a delight. Listen, I bare my soul here. I thought she's fucking gorgeous. I can't believe anybody.
Oh yeah, no, she's beautiful too.
You're not beautiful enough for show business. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? I'd put a ring on that in a minute. Oh, hi, honey. No, I was talking about Willie putting a ring on his cock.
I've done that before.
I know. I somehow I knew that. I knew
listen. You want to really make a girl forget her name? Vibrating cock rings. That's.
Now, this is interesting. When my wife and I were shopping for wedding rings, the guy he was trying to sell me a cock ring. The guy selling the wedding rings was attracted. He was a gay guy, attracted to me, like they all are. All gay guys. First of all, gay guys and old ladies. To me, I'm fucking catnip to them. They want to sniff me. They want to play with me. They want to touch me. Whatever. They want to roll around in me.
Bro, speaking of sniffing you, do you ever put cologne on your head so that your head smells good? because then you could be like, hey, smell my head, and it would smell good. There'd be more people sniffing you. I'm just trying to get more people sniffing the dog.
Sniffing the dog. Oh, let me tell you. Now, this is not. It sounds egomaniacal, egomaniacal, ego. Sounds like I'm full of myself. I smell good.
Like your natural scent.
Women have. I just get out of the shower and what are you wearing? You smell good. I'm wearing clean. I'm wearing me.
I wake up in the morning. I piss excellence.
I've had women always say, "Man, you smell so good." I was like, "Well, I guess. I mean, that's just testosterone, baby. That's
where you look at them and go, just me, baby. You know what I mean? Like, let them know that ain't no cologne. That is the dog.
Yeah, I'm not a cologne wearer. I've never been a cologne wearer. I don't know. To me, it would probably fucking get me sneezing all fucking day or mess with my allergies and stuff. But I've never been. And women always. It sounds like I'm full of myself. I am sorry about that, but
I have a plethora of Old Spice choices. It's all Old Spice, so I think maybe one Adidas.
I have to say, I just said I would never been a cologne guy, but when I was 14, Old Spice was definitely the thing.
Yeah.
Let's play this piece because I haven't played this piece in forever. Let's just.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
That is like AM radio shit. I love that.
That really is. That's morning show all day.
Well, yeah. I haven't played those in a while, but because the robot ones fucking pissed me off. But that I guess that's the show for today. We made the picks. My lock for the week is who's my lock for the? Oh, it's the New York Jets.
The New York Jets is your lock for the week. My lock is Kansas City.
Kansas City. Now they got some crazy little women there. I don't know if you're aware of this. They have some crazy little women there in Kansas City.
In Kansas City?
Yes.
I know there's one just outside it. I know that for
they're
sure.
Standing on the corner of 12th Street and Vine, actually. You will find some crazy little women there. I'm going to get me one. Anyway.
Is this a song reference?
Yes, it is. Wilbur Harrison, 1957, Kansas City. Now, I played that song in a Stop and Shop on a Sunday morning.
I've seen that video when you were in the grocery store. I've seen that video. I watched that. You have no idea how much of your stuff I've watched, Matt. Like, for real.
That's unsettling because there's some really fucking weird shit.
I know. I know.
Driving Miss Daisy stuff is some of the weirdest stuff. Miss Davy, Driving Miss Davy. Davy was a protege of mine in the hair and film industry when we were directing films for haircutters. And we would go to lunch every day and do a video in the car, driving Miss Davy. Those were some weird ones. And then the ones when I was separated from my wife, where I just go impromptu stuff, and there was some really fucked up. I'm a fucked up dude. We knew this. Anyway, you think I got a chance with the cortisone, or do I have to pay? Because I have no money. I think I made that clear. But I'm thinking, you know what? If I impressed her enough,
yeah, it seems like she's moved on from that phase anyway. So I think anything she does now is just personal.
She has a heart, and we made a connection on the broken heart things. I think she felt that I was a genuine, sensitive. I'm a feminist who likes to buy you stuff type of guy, as Bo Burnham would say. So you think I wouldn't have a chance with her? That's what you say. I'm
gonna, I don't know. It's hard saying. I don't. I know that when you got one of these things, you get hit on way more. It's weird.
My ring is driving me crazy. But if I take it off, my wife will kill me. Like, you can't. Don't even think about leaving the house without your ring on. But it drives me crazy. It irritates me. I think it led to the arthritis and ligamentitis that I have in this hand playing guitar. But I think it definitely
from
does.
the extra pressure while playing.
And yeah, and again, this was sold to me by a gay guy who wanted to give me a cock ring because, and he just kept, he was saying this in front of my wife, and my wife thought it was the cutest thing in the world. She was encouraging him to talk more about putting a cock ring on me and all this stuff. But I think he might have set me up with like some kind of, I don't know, poison ring that is just infecting my hand and making all this arthritic hand. And so he thought that by making me, oh no, it would be my left hand. So I was just thinking he would probably want me not to jerk off. So and I would lose my wife, take the wedding ring off, and then go gay for him. That's what I think his plan, his ultimate Lex Luthor plan for me was. But it didn't work out. Do you think this was a good show this morning, or did it suck?
You know what? I think the people should decide. We should put up a poll. Did today's show suck, or was it okay?
I don't think I want to know the answer, because I think probably the answer will come back. It sucked, and then this is,
I don't think so. I think it was a great show. I think it was great. Our guest was phenomenal. We had Robert on for, what is the name of his segment again?
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Yeah, that was fun. That was great. Yeah, no, we had a good show.
Yeah, he's an ex-Marine who was also in the Army.
Right. Yeah, I remember. I've seen. He was just starting before I went in the freezer. He had been on a couple times, I think.
All right, I did not know that. Anyway, and I think the Navy had recruited him too at one point. So he's got his hands in all the service. Well, not
maybe did he take part in the circle jerk over the Napoleon cake?
Probably.
Oh my God!
He's definitely listen. I hope
he probably had his cake and ate it too with the dead babies.
I hope he's still in the audience listening, because I do think when a guy has no vices at all, like you've been very open about your past drug use. You smoke marijuana now, all this kind of stuff. I'm pretty much open about my edible thing and how much I love weed and all that stuff. You don't drink, you don't smoke, and you got all these porn references. I think you're signaling to the world that you're a kinky guy. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you would think so. You would think so.
Yeah, I mean, like
it tells its own story.
Yeah, you talk about your sexual proclivity. I always think these guys who brag too much probably aren't as good as they think they are. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Well, this is what happened with me in 2003.